and make you understand how failing earlier can lead to success. All right. So we look forward to seeing you on the inside. Thanks for joining us. This is When the Lights Go Out. Are you ready? Sit back, relax, and unwind. We got about 45 minutes of information for you to enjoy. I'll see you on the inside. Hey, good afternoon. Good afternoon. It's Friday. Happy Lifestyle Focus Friday. We made it back. Thank you for joining us. This is When the Lights Go Out. Are you ready? I'm your host, Ronco Johnson. Thank you for joining us. Hey, today we're going to be talking about, on this particular podcast, we're going to be talking about failing your way to wealth. And what does that look like? I'm going to share with you my own personal journey and setbacks and failures that ultimately led me to success, and why this philosophy of lifestyle focused wealth has become so important to me and many others that have used it and have been successful. So I want to help you discover these lessons that I've learned along the way, and hopefully it saves somebody out there time, right? We just want to save time, and that's really what it's all about. So each of these failures became a stepping stone towards something different, something more in achieving these goals. And in this episode, it's going to be packed with information, little tips, practical tips that you can write down. And hopefully these tips help you overcome some obstacles and give you some inspiration. And one of the things I have learned over the years is the more that I speak to more successful people, the more I'm encouraged to ask them more about what their failures are. What was your lights out moment? Tell me, what was your lights out moment? You may be surprised that the people that you look up to absolutely understand where you are at this moment. And a matter of fact, they may be able to give some detail and insight on how to recover if you've fallen down, and how to maintain belief in yourself and your goals when you're struggling. And I want to help you look into that. I want to help transform those failures into opportunities for you. Whether you're an insurance agent, a real estate agent, or just a small business person starting your career, we all started with the how. How am I going to do this? Where am I going to make money from? Who's going to buy from me, right? So we're going to have this conversation today, and that is hopefully going to inspire one of you guys out there that are listening and simply need some or seeking some motivation. And we're going to explore the mind shifts that can take these setbacks and turn them into triumphs. We all have them. And they may be small, they may be large, but we all have them. And that's the thing that we got to recognize. We can learn from one another the more and more and more that we have these conversations, right? So it's my goal to help you out and learn from what we're talking about today. So as we talk about these triumphs, do me a favor. Don't forget to like, subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and hit that notification bell as soon as possible so we can continue to give more inspiring content. So let's embrace this thing together and let's start paving the way towards financial wealth and wisdom. I'm your boy, Ronco Johnson. Thank you for joining me. And hey, listen, did you know this? I got something else I want to just share with you. Did you know over 90% of successful entrepreneurs have faced some significant failure before achieving their dream? 90%. 90%. So on today's podcast, Lifestyle Focused Wealth, we're going to talk about some of these stories behind the scenes. And I'm going to even answer some of these questions that people have sent me over the week in an email or a text message. And I want to encourage you to do the same. So, one of the things that I think we all are suffering from is figuring that we're only in this thing alone. And that is not true. That is not true. It's further from the truth. You're not in it alone. You're not in this thing alone at all. So we're going to help you transform your financial future just by getting you ready, getting you ready. It's a little different. I'm a former athlete, and I can share with you one of my stories just to begin with. As an athlete, it was one thing to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and go run by yourself or go to the gym and start shooting by yourself. But you had to get used to hearing your own heart rate. You're hearing your own shoes on the court, or even out there running those 100-yard sprints by yourself. But it got much easier to do when one teammate joined you, then 3 teammates join you, then your whole entire team joins you. Because at that particular point, you know that we're all paddling in the same direction and we're all wanting success, and you're not alone. But the pain that it takes to get there, you're sharing that experience as well. And I think that's why in sports, I can honestly say the camaraderie, the team, the bonding, the things that happen in the military and sports, and there may be other professional opportunities that I haven't mentioned. But that bond is so unique. It's so tight because only the people who were there, that went through the trenches with you, can honestly understand where you are. I thank you. One of our listeners has already just chimed in. Falling is part of success, not the opposite of it. Well, actually, failing my way to wealth is part of the success. I think you misread the title, or maybe even not understanding what we're trying to say. Is that sometimes we don't succeed because we're afraid of failing. We don't even attempt to try. Why? Because somebody said it was too hard. Someone said it can't be done, or maybe you're not smart enough. Okay? That might be one of those things that can kind of distract you. But I'm going to share with you, those people who have been most successful, the ones that have decided to chase their fears. Chasing your fears, on the other side of fear, you find success. And you'll find success because you'll find self-confidence in what you're doing. And that is what I mean by failing your way to wealth. Because wealth isn't about money. Wealth is about confidence, experiences. Wealth is about sharing with someone else. Wealth is about moments. Wealth is about things that you can't take away. And hey, I appreciate that. I do. I really do. And what we want to do here at Lifestyle Focused Wealth is let's talk about the ways that we can do things and get back to being stronger and being smarter, because that's the secret. The secret is, how do you bounce back? If I were in an audience and I was wanting to know from another successful person, and I knew that I had I had something, a detail that I was just missing. You see it in sports. I use this as an analogy in sports. You'll see a great, talented athlete, especially like quarterbacks. They can throw the ball a mile, but they'll go back and have a coach that will work on their footwork, work on their alignment, work on their angles of how they throw their body around. Every little detail to give them just that little bit of an advantage. And a lot of times, without that coaching, that person will fail. But it takes a special kind of person that can take some coaching and then allow themselves to be transparent, vulnerable, a little bit afraid at the same time. But what you'll find is because they allow themselves to be that vulnerable, they've taken in some information that now they can process in their own way. And when they're processing that information, you'll start to see their successes, and it seems to work in a different way, you know? So what are your successes? What are your successes? What is holding you back? Be sure you go into our comments and ask us a couple questions and leave us a couple questions. And I love the fact that we want your detail. We want your feedback. We want to hear from you, and we want to be able to respond to you. So, by doing this, it allows us to let you know that we're real people too, right? We're not just the people on your screen, that we're real people also. And that we go through things just like you, right? So first of all, I want to just go ahead and welcome you. I want to welcome you back. Thank you guys for coming in and checking in. We're giving everybody time to get in the room. And once we get everybody in the room, then we'll get started on our topic. But, I think that's why it's so important to join our Lifestyle Focused Wealth team. Why? Because it's only $16 a month when you want to join, because there are already people doing what millionaires and billionaires do. We're already doing it. And we're sharing these stories. And at the end of the podcast today, don't forget, if you could click down below and look in the notes, sign up for our bi-weekly newsletters and emails, and take a look at what we got to offer. There's some great stuff, some art, some travel, recipes, and a lot more. It's absolutely free to you. We want to provide you some value here as you're listening to us, right? I'm already looking at everyone's notes coming in here today. So let's talk about it. Have you thought about what it looks like when you achieve your ultimate goal? But maybe you're working at it and it's become more difficult than what was expected. See, many successful entrepreneurs have faced this significant failures in their career before achieving their dreams, and these setbacks have been crucial in the learning experience. I once had a person tell me about the caterpillar and the butterfly, and for me, I can tell you that was one of the learning processes and encouraging and trying to transform people into successful salespeople, successful entrepreneurs, is I was guilty of this story. And it shared, my coach shared the story of the young boy who saw a caterpillar one day. And he had the time to just watch the caterpillar on the ground. It was moving around. And as it was moving around, obviously it was getting ready to bloom into this butterfly. But it was having a difficult time getting out of the cocoon. So the little boy grabbed a little tool and slightly cut the cocoon so that the butterfly could pop his wing out. The butterfly pops his wing out, and the little boy really loves the colors of the butterfly. So he cuts it just a little bit more, and then the second wing of the butterfly pops out of the cocoon, and then the butterfly takes off and starts to fly. And shortly after, that butterfly falls straight to the ground and dies. The little boy was distraught. He was upset. He couldn't understand what just happened. The truth is, what just happened to him is that butterfly, once it was explained to the little boy, that butterfly needed that struggle. When it was coming out of the cocoon, it needed that struggle. That struggle was necessary for it to survive. And because it had no struggle, it had no willpower. So I take this with you. One of the successes that I can also say is I've been able to motivate other people, but without aiding them so much that they didn't have the struggle. And a lot of times in today, I think we're in a different type of world today where people are used to wanting the handout. They want the easy street without the work. They want all the results without the work. But that work is very necessary. It's very necessary. Let me share with you the antidote from my own journey as an entrepreneur. You know, early in my career when I started my company as a startup, of course, I was incredibly passionate. I've been an insurance agent for over 26 years. And once we decided to go on our own and open our own practice and go out here and attack the world, you know, I poured all my heart, my soul, my savings into what we're doing. But despite my own efforts, my business was slow at the very beginning. There was a lot of information I needed to learn as an entrepreneur. It was a tough pill to swallow because once you step out here on your own, you have nobody, nothing to fall back on. And that's where, you know, you feel like you might have hit rock bottom. But the truth is, what you're experiencing is freedom. It's freedom. It's freedom to fail as many times as you would like and get up off the ground and do something about it. When you get up and get off the ground and do something about it, you know, those failures early on taught me some valuable lessons in the world of resilience, adaptability, and the importance of having a solid business plan. I didn't have one. I needed a business plan. I needed to know what it looked like for my level of success. I needed to know what that was all about. And I'm sure if you're out there and you're listening to me right now and this is you, give me a thumbs up, make a comment down in the comments. Don't forget to put the words takeaways right before your comment. Why? Because we want to know what you're taking away from this information. You know, I took these lessons to heart. I can tell you, I took every lesson that I learned to heart, and I applied them to my very next venture. And this time I was better prepared. I was more strategic. I was more determined than ever to make it work. The result? I have to say, we've had a thriving business. We've had a wonderful run. And we're continuing to see success. Not only in my own firms, but in other people that we've talked to. So not only when it comes to, thriving success, but it's also aligned with my lifestyle and my lifestyle focused wealth philosophy, which means that you can be unapologetic about the type of work you do because you are exactly what the business was made up around. The things I love doing, the people I love to speak to, the events I like to go to, the opportunities to travel, and all the things I like to share, whether it be food, conversation with friends about business, love, relationships, whatever the case may be, I was able to build that around my lifestyle. And you know what they say, when you build something like that, it's not work. It becomes your passion. So for every failure, there's an opportunity to learn and grow. So I will tell you now, if you're talking to someone out there and they're talking about maybe their relationship, they're talking about how bad it is, do me a favor, ask them to shift that energy and say, well, tell me, what positive did you learn from it? Maybe if we focus on the positivity of what we learned from even maybe a poor experience, you still learn something positive. Maybe you learn not to do that again. Maybe you learn that you get some accountability in that play. And if you can hold yourself accountable at all times, there's no reason to complain about someone else's behavior because you get to dictate why you were there in the first place. You get to dictate if it's going to change, what's acceptable and what's not. So you want to embrace your setbacks. I believe in embracing your setbacks and analyzing what went wrong and use that knowledge to build a stronger foundation for what is to come in your future endeavors. So if you don't mind, let's turn those failures into stepping stones everywhere we go on our way to having a successful lifestyle called wealth. You can do it. You can do it. I know you can do it. I know you can do it. Why do I know you can do it? Is because there were many before you. There were many before you. There were many before you. So let me discuss another topic today. Let's talk about the fears and the misconceptions about failure in the context of achieving financial goals and success. We'll share with you a little story about myself. And I know this came in on a call, a text message, and I'm hoping that they're listening, and I hope you catch it on the playback because I do read your comments and I do read your emails. So please make sure you send something to me. Happy Friday out there, Sam. Always evolve. Thank you so much. Resilience equals success. I'm going to share with you one of the common misconceptions. I want to add one of my challenges. I had a severe, and I still do, I had a severe anxiety when it came to cold calling. when it comes to cold calling, I know there's probably somebody on this line that's probably thinking, he talks all the time. Why would he not? Why would he have issues with speaking on the phone? But it's true. It's true. I've had those issues for a very long time. The fear of rejection was just so overwhelming to me that it often held me back from reaching out and making those crucial connections. Still today, I have those issues. However, I knew that you had to overcome that fear. And in order to do that, I had to overcome that fear to become essentially successful for my own personal growth. So I had practice. I practiced and I practiced and I practiced. I would get in the mirror and I just speak to the mirror, speaking to myself, speaking to you. I sought advice, and it was a gradual thing that became more comfortable with the process. And I can honestly tell you that experience has taught me the importance of stepping out of my own personal comfort zone and facing my fears head on. Because once I started to do that, I realized the things in my head were opposite than reality. There were people who want to see you. There's people who want to hear your idea. There's people who want to help you grow, believe it or not. And they're waiting on someone just like you to bring the idea to the table. Someone who believes in the idea that they're bringing to the table. Someone who's going to chase their purpose and come back with results. So common fears and misconceptions about failure often revolve around the idea that failing means that you're not cut out for success. That's not true. Many people believe that one failure defines their entire journey. Can you imagine if you start asking the most successful people in your life how many times they failed? You will be surprised. If you've only failed once or twice, the truth is you haven't failed enough. You haven't failed enough to quantify the results. And what I mean by that, for you entrepreneurs out there, and since we're talking about cold calling, it wasn't until I was speaking to a mentor of mine that said, hey, how many people did you talk to? I said, 10. And they said, okay, well, what's wrong with that? What's your experience? I said, well, 8 of them, I never got on the phone. And the 2 that I got on the phone, they didn't want to speak to me. He said, so you got 20% on the phone? I said, yes. He said, so it doesn't mean that the 10 people don't want to talk to you just because 8 of them weren't even at home. Maybe you need to call 100 people or 200 people. Well, my brain was wrapped around the idea that I had to call these people because I was listening to what, my coach had said, and I was thinking, he said, I got to call them. And again, the anxiety builds up. You miss out on those opportunities, and you just don't know exactly where you're going to go. Until one day, he said to me, hey, weren't you at that event last night? I said, yeah, I was at an event. I was handing out business cards. He said, well, those people count. To my own knowledge, those people count. Never did I think that those people counted in the 100 people that I connected with. It's about making connection. It's not making phone calls. It's about making connection. If I can make connections with more people, then I have an opportunity for them to hear what my offer is. I have more opportunity for me to share my experiences with them. I have opportunities to provide a successful solution to their issues. And that's led me into understanding that everyone I meet is a potential prospect. It also allowed me to start thinking a little bit differently, that everybody's just wants to say no to you. Well, that's not true either. There are people, even on this podcast, there's people watching this podcast right now. I've never met you, but you're interested in the dialogue that I'm speaking. And you might even be interested in having a conversation with me one-on-one. And there's going to be a few of you that I'm going to be able to help. There's going to be a handful of you I'm going to be able to provide a solution to your financial issues. And I hope there's more than a handful. But the beauty of today's internet and the beauty of today's way of frequency and the way we communicate is that all we have to do is make the connection. Once we make the connection and we offer you quality information, practical solutions that work, and then we got a formidable time that we can all get together, whether it be on a scheduled basis or however you do it on a calendar. And then you refine your process over and over again. You'll start seeing the fruits of your labor. You'll start seeing those common fears and misconceptions about failure that has revolved around the idea of failing start going away. You'll start finding that you'll get one more successful story. You'll get two more successful stories. You'll get three more successful stories. So many people believe that, like I said, that one failure defines their entire journey. But this could not be further from the truth. It's just not. Failure is not a reflection of your worth or your potential. It's a natural part of things. It's just the way we learn. And the more that you learn early, the more you fail early, the more that you know you're eliminating mistakes. I'm going to encourage you to go ahead and start eliminating mistakes, because the more mistakes you make right now, the less mistakes you'll make over the long haul. Just try not to do anything that's going to get you locked up. All right? Keep it a buck. Okay, let's keep it at a high level. We don't want no issues for people that they can't reverse something, okay? But attack your fears. Chase your fears. Chase your fears. I can't tell you more. I can't tell you more how that works, because each setback provides such insight and opportunity for growth. And in the context of achieving financial success, it's crucial to understand that failure is not the end. It's the stepping stone. It's the beginning. So if you're having failure at the beginning of you stepping out on your own on a new business venture, hey, that's part of the process. That's part of the process. It's supposed to be a little bit difficult. It's supposed to be a little bit uneasy until you figure out it's about the connection. If you can figure out how to use that connection so that you can aid yourself to make it in a comfortable way for you to make connections with people, you're going to find success. If you embrace those setbacks that you're having right now, Maybe you're in between jobs. Maybe you're not making as much money as you would like to. Maybe you don't know enough about business that you feel like you can go out and talk about it. But if you analyze what went wrong and use that knowledge to build a stronger foundation for your future endeavors, you're going to turn those failures into stepping stones. Absolutely. And one of the best ways of doing that is to get involved with a coach. Have a coach. Have somebody in your life that can help you accelerate skipping over all of those things that can keep you from reaching the top. Those are crucial. Okay? I will tell you that is the most crucial part of it. Yes, I want to hear it. Try it again until you succeed. Try it again until you succeed. Fail forward. I love that. Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Ms. Henderson, for your comments. And I know you've had to overcome your own challenges. Let's stop calling them bad things. Hey, everybody has a challenge. But if you keep doing it and you keep doing it, maybe you're going to the gym, you want to lose 10 pounds. It was hard today. Maybe you want to walk a mile. Maybe it was difficult today. But tomorrow when you come back, it's going to be easier. And then the day after that, it's going to be even easier. And the more you keep going, you're going to build up the wind and the stamina. And then your body's not going to feel those aches and pains. Your business is not going to feel those aches and pains. The things that become drama-filled for other people are just the stepping stone for you. And I know that there's going to be some people out here that's going to challenge the idea of what I'm saying. And that's perfectly okay. I will tell you, in summary, the key points about embracing failures as part of your journey to wealth and success, the key points is not listening to those who aren't willing to try. I have to be honest with you. Stop listening to those people. They're damaged. They're damaged. There's nothing worse than people have commentation and listen to commentators talk about things they've never done. Can't do, won't do, never tried. I'm not saying that they don't have a story. I'm just saying it makes it difficult to believe in the story when the person you're listening to has never been there, never tried it, never done it. So here are those common points. Failure is common. Failure is common. Many successful entrepreneurs out here experience significant failures before they reach successful goals. It's a natural part of the journey. Number 2, learning opportunity. It's a learning opportunity. Each failure provides you valuable lessons and insights that can help you improve and grow. Maybe you're wasting more time right now. When you start applying yourself and you start doing your work daily, making your phone calls daily, booking your appointments daily, reading and giving personal development daily, taking time to manifest your own future by meditation and thinking about it, dreaming about it, speaking about it daily, not 2 times a week, not a side gig, daily. You cannot help but grow and improve. Number 3, resilience and adaptability. Overcoming these setbacks, it builds resilience in a person and adaptability. It's essential. These are traits for long-term success. You know, give an example, as a young agent and a young advisor, I remember having to get my backpack full of all the paper from the office, and you would go out and you would talk to people. Hello, Miss Wilson, how are you out there? I can see you. And you would carry this huge briefcase with your computer bag and everything else in it. You'll get to a client's house and you open up your computer and you got your paperwork and you got all this stuff like you're holding court. But then comes the cell phone. Now you can book an appointment on a cell phone. You can get a fax by your cell phone. You can be walking through the airport handling information and send a quote to a client, close a deal on documents while you're walking in the airport coming home from Bahamas. Adaptability. It's just a different formula, just a different mindset. Number 4, face your fears. I mean, look it dead in the face. Don't waver. Show no emotion towards those fears. Confronting your fears, such as the anxiety I had for cold calling, is crucial. It's crucial for your personal and professional growth. One of my mentors said, Ronco, you know you hate it so bad. Well, here's what I want to promise you. If you make enough money, you can hire someone to make the call for you. I never had that idea. I found myself working harder because I just could not stand making the cold calls. And I found another person who enjoyed the phone calls. I was able to pay that person to make those connections on my behalf. And it was well worth it. And that's where I learned you got to give a little bit to get a little bit. You got to give a little bit to get a little bit. And the more I gave, the more I got back in return. Number 5. This is the 5th nugget of the day. The misconception about failure. Failure does not define your worth. It does not define your potential. It's just a stepping stone. It's not a dead end. Don't give up. Don't ever give up. And if you're having a bad day, change the way you program it in your head. I'm not having a bad day. I might be having a bad moment. The day is too long for it to be bad. I don't know. The next hour, I might win the lottery. Would it still be a bad day? Absolutely not. It would be a good moment. All right. So we want to condition ourselves for the long haul, right? You got to condition your brain like an athlete. Entrepreneurs need to condition their brains to be ready for this long haul called business, entrepreneurship. Number 6, it's a mindset shift. You have to be able to shift how you think. When you are able to shift how you think, the results will follow. Viewing your failures as an opportunity rather than setbacks, it can transform your whole approach to challenges. It can pave the way to your financial success just by how you look at it. And your friends and your circle of influence, they may look at it a different way. But if you're around people that's looking at it in a way that may negatively impact you, find a bigger circle. Find a different circle. Find a circle of people who see it differently and adapt. Change. And don't come in trying to do it your way. Change it. If you don't like where you are right now, adapt. If it's not working for you right now, evolve. Elevate. Seek coaching. Talk to other people around you. They've already made the mistakes. And for those of you that are on this podcast, you hear me say it all the time. Everything you need is in the room. Everything you need is in the room. Everything that we need is in the room. Hey, do me a favor. If you're out here and you're just now checking in, do me a favor. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the like button, share button, and that notification bell, because we want to be able to talk to you about this upcoming content that we have that hopefully is getting you into position to receive all that you deserve. Today, we just want to share with you how embracing your failures and learning from them and using them as a stepping stone, it may just be your path to wealth and success. If this is helping you out today, please put in the comment, it's helped me. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know, hey, did this help you out today? If this helped you out, put that in the comments. It's Lifestyle Focus Friday, y'all. It's Lifestyle Focus Friday. And when we come back, we'll talk about and we'll come back and summarize the end of how this works and give you some homework, but after these messages. Hey, join our Lifestyle Focus Wealth community. Membership starting at $16 a month when you pay the annual subscription. So register online today at www.lifestylefocuswealth.com. Hey, this is our Lifestyle Focus Wealth. We're back, and we've been talking about failing my way to wealth. And we want to make sure that you have the information that you need to get to where you want to go. And in this episode, I'm telling you, the things that you're afraid of and the things that may be causing you fear on the other side of that thing is success. I want you to be a dream chaser, but I also want you to chase those fears, because I know on the other side of it, you're going to win. And that pot of gold is just for you. And you have to be able to adapt. You have to be able to change. You have to be willing. You have to be willing to take the hit. Go ahead and take the hit early. Take it early. Commit earlier. If there was one thing that I could share with you as a successful business person, is I wish that I would have one, jumped in with both feet earlier. It took me a while to get to the belief system that I knew that there were other people who were really wanting to talk to me. It took me a while to get to that point. The second thing is I just didn't have the belief system, because that wasn't the backbone of where I came from. But once I started to get around other successful entrepreneurs who have built businesses, I realized something. My problem was in my head. It wasn't my tools. It was my brain. It was the way I thought about it. And once I began to shift it, everything around me started to shift. And I'm hoping it can do the same thing for you today. I'm hoping that this message lands on the person that needs it. Because you never know. Sometimes your inspiration could just be helping someone get over a situation that they thought would never end, right? Hey, so listen, that's my time for today. Please don't forget to like us, love us, put something in the comments. Hey, send us an email, text message, or something. I just want to hear from you. And each and every Friday right here at 1 o'clock, I want you guys to have an awesome weekend. This is Lifestyle Focus Friday. And I'm your host, Ronco Johnson. This has been When the Lights Go Out. Are you ready? And I look forward to seeing you at the top. See you next week. God bless.